Okay, so yesterday we were talking on Earth Day about how we need to keep the air clean. So I thought we'd read a book about air. And this book is called Air, All Around. We'll learn a little bit about the air and how it affects us in our lives. Can you answer this question? Can you answer this riddle? You swallow it, but you can't taste it. You sniff it, but you can't smell it. You watch it, but you can't see it. What is it? The answer is air. Air is all around you. Without air, no people, plants, or animals could live on Earth. So if we didn't have air, we couldn't be here. So how do you know that air is really there? Blow up a balloon. What makes it get bigger? Air does. Push an upside-down glass into the bathtub water. The air inside the glass makes it pop right back up. Blow through a straw into a glass of water. What makes the water bubble? That's right, air does. Let a paper fall to the ground. Swish! It floats on air as it drops. So now you know that there definitely is air. Air is made up of many invisible gases. A gas has no shape of its own. It will spread out and fill whatever it is in. Air will fill something as tiny as a bubble or as big as a circus tent. Without air, you wouldn't be able to hear anything. Air carries sound from one place to another. Air carries the sound of a beating drum to your ears, or the music of the ice cream truck, and the laughter of all your friends. So if there was no air, you couldn't hear. Do you believe that air around you is filled with thousands of floating specks? It's true. Shine a flashlight in a dark room. Now look into the beam of light. You'll see thousands of specks of dust swirling. They're very, very small, but you can still see them. Even clean air has specks floating in it. Besides dust, there's salt from the ocean and living things that are too tiny to see, like bacteria. Here's the bad part. Smoke from furnaces, fumes from cars and buses, and dangerous gases from factories also float in the air. They can be harmful to your health. Air that's dirty is called polluted air. Here's some good news. Today, many cities and towns are trying to clean up their air. Yeah, we talked about that yesterday. We need our air to be clean so we can live here. People need air. People need clean air to breathe. Animal and plants need clean air too. When you breathe in, your body takes in oxygen. Oxygen is one of the gases in the air. Oxygen lets you turn the food you eat into energy for running, jumping, and playing. When you breathe out a gas called carbon dioxide. Plants take in carbon dioxide to make food. And guess what the plants give off? They give off oxygen for you to breathe. That's why it's important to have plants and trees in our world. They take what we give out that we can't use, and they turn it into what we can use. So that's like a symbiotic relationship. You've just taken another breath. The oxygen you've breathed in has gone into your lungs. See those blue things? Those are your lungs. Now it's entering your blood. Your blood will carry that oxygen to every part of your body, even to the tips of your toes. Your bodies need oxygen. Air does not seem heavy, but it does weigh something. This weight is called air pressure. It presses around everything in the world. It's pressing around you right now. Don't worry, you can't feel it because the air inside your body is pressing out at the same time. A lot of air can be squeezed into a small place. You can pump air into beach balls, air mattresses, and tires until they get hard. With enough air inside, your bike tires will hold up your bike and you. Airplanes use air pressure to fly. Their wings are shaped so the air pressure under the plane helps to hold it up. Helicopters and gliders use air pressure to fly too. So do cardinals and dragonflies and all the other flying creatures in the world. That's a cardinal, and that's a black-capped chickadee, and there's a dragonfly. Birds and insects also use the wind to stay up in the air. Wind is air moving across the earth. Sometimes it moves as a gentle breeze. Sometimes the wind blows harder, so hold on to your hat. Wind can be dangerous. When it's part of a storm, a hurricane starts over the ocean. Its winds send huge waves crashing onto the beach. A tornado starts on land. Its spinning winds can even lift a car. The air outside is part of what makes up the weather. When the air is cold, bundle up. When the air is very warm, it's time for a swim. Clouds are tiny drops of water that gather high up in the sky. When the drops of water get big enough, they fall through the air as rain. If the air is cold, they might come down as snowflakes or icy hail. Air surrounds the earth like a thick blanket. This blanket of air is called the atmosphere. At night, the atmosphere holds in heat and keeps the earth from getting too cold. During the day, the atmosphere acts like a huge umbrella and keeps the sun from burning the earth. There's the sun, there's the moon, and the earth. The higher up you go, the less oxygen there is in the atmosphere. If you climb a very tall mountain, you'll have to carry oxygen in a tank to help you breathe. Much higher up, there's no air. That's why astronauts in space need oxygen tanks. Down on Earth, you can play outside. You can watch the birds fly through the air, or you can see the wind lift the kites and whisk sailboats across the pond. It's a fine day, so take a deep breath of air. So now you know a little bit more about air. Very interesting, right?